It's Monday, and you know what that means. I'm Scott from phasingplayer.com. Doing a stream today, haven't done one in a little bit. Happy to be doing another one. It's cold here in Chicago. We got snow on the ground. Winter is here, and I've been locked inside all year. Might as well continue to be locked inside during the winter. And today I'm going to be playing a game that I've sort of been asked about on a few occasions. I say sort of because I don't know that people have asked about this specific one, but I have had a handful of people in the past ask me about Jim Felly games, if I've played them, if I was going to be doing any videos with them, and the answer had always been no. I just wasn't familiar with the stuff he'd made. I'd heard of Zimby Mojo, but didn't really know anything beyond the name. So I reached out to Jim and asked him for a copy of Cosmic Frog, and he was very kind, and he provided me with a copy. And I've played it a handful of times since. I've played a solitaire, I've played it at 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players. Most of those being tabletop sim games, where it's available for free. You can go onto the Steam workshop and subscribe to the game and play it with your buddies. And it's actually a super nice mod, too. I don't know who made it, I apologize, but it is a really nice Cosmic Frog tabletop sim version. Highly recommend it. But I do look forward to playing the physical copy multiplayer in the future. Right now I've been playing it solo and with my wife Haley. It is good at those counts too. I enjoy it solitaire, I enjoy it 2-player, but I feel like getting people around the table with this game would be a real good time. So at some point in the future, I will be doing multiplayer streams of this game. But got a squirt bottle handy. It's been a while since I've been on stream here, and whenever I'm kind of talking to a camera for some reason, my cat goes wild and starts to scratch stuff up. So I gotta blast him with a squirt bottle. Anyway, if you see me reaching over or looking over that way, that's what I'm doing. Oliver's a goon. Still is a goon. He's been a goon in the past. He continues to be a goon. But he's my sweetheart. Anyway, so Cosmic Frog. Cosmic Frog is a real cool game. I've got it all set up here. We're going to be playing the solitaire version today. I expect it to take roughly an hour, I would say. Maybe a little more because I'll be explaining stuff as I go along. And why don't we take a look at the game at the board right now, and I'll give a bit of an overview and sort of explain the rules as I play. So let's switch over to it now. So here's Cosmic Frog, all set up for the solitaire version. Now normally, if you're not familiar with this game, normally each player controls a single giant frog. And they're hanging out in space on this shard of land trying to harvest it for its resources. The resources in this game are represented by these hexes. There are a handful of different ones. I believe there are 8. And you will be collecting them with your frog miniature, hopping out into space and spitting them into your vault, where at the end of the game, they're going to be worth points. This is a competitive game, so the opposing frogs will be fighting you and you'll be fighting them and knocking them into the outer dimensions. It's kind of a wild game. There's a kind of an interesting mix of managing sort of chaos and chaotic energy in this game in terms of fighting other frogs in combat where you roll dice. As well as a sort of, a friend of mine actually called it almost like Connect 4, like a Connect 4 sort of mechanism, where there's a little more strategy, a little more agency over collecting these different land types and putting them into your vault. So what you're trying to do is line them up sort of in straight lines to score points, as well as have a nice diversity of land types, which you'll get points for extra diversity as well. So it's like an interesting mashup of kind of crazy dice rolling chaos on one end and sort of long-term planning and strategy with how you lay out your vault on the other end. And it ends up being a real cool game that plays pretty quick and is a whole lot of fun. All right, so the solitaire game, like I said, in the solo game, it's each person has 1 frog, but in the solitaire game, it's you versus a team of 3 frogs in a bit of a lopsided affair. They all share a single vault, so each of these 3 frogs, red, yellow, and gray, will be collecting their own land pieces, but when they jump into the ether and spit them out into their vault, they all go into the same vault. They all sort of funnel together into the same vault. Okay, so they're working together in that regard. They also don't fight each other. Whereas conversely, I'm in it all by myself. I'm collecting land and I'm putting it into my vault all on my own. The 2 times I've played the solitaire mode, the frogs have beat me. The robo frogs have beaten me. But I'm hoping maybe I've learned a thing or two and I'll be able to do pretty well on camera today. So like I had mentioned, this is a solitaire mode. This is made by Ricky Royal, who's done solitaire modes for a bunch of games. They're often very good. On his website, Box of Delights, you can find the rules for this. It is pretty straightforward. It is 3 pages, so page 1, page 2, page 3, nothing on the back here. And basically, the frogs are going to follow a sort of flow chart. You know, if they don't have food in their belly, they'll maybe try to go get it. If they have enough food in their bellies, they'll jump into the ether. If they're in the ether with food in their bellies, they'll stick it into the vault. And, you know, if they don't have food, they'll do this thing instead. If they can't do that thing, they'll do this thing instead. I made myself a little double-sided card here to help just for quick reference with using the bot. It is straightforward, but again, this is sort of the flow chart succinctly. I've posted this up on Board Game Geek if people want to grab it for when they're playing the solitaire mode. I think it's pretty helpful. I haven't put it in the file section yet. It's just on the forum, but I'm going to clean it up, maybe add some graphics, and stick that in the file section probably in the next few days. All right. So I've kind of given you an overview of this, right? You're a frog. You're going to be eating land, trying to line it up in your vault. And I'll explain the rules more succinctly as we play, okay? This is not really a tutorial, but hopefully if you're new to the game or you're interested in it, you'll be able to see this and get some idea of how the game flows. Yeah, I think that's probably all I really have to say right now. If you guys are watching live and you have questions, feel free to ask. If you're watching later, go ahead and leave comments and I'll try to answer questions about it if I can. Hopefully I won't screw any of the rules up. I do on occasion. I guess I should say the game ends in one of 2 ways. Either all of these land tiles are accounted for and taken off of here. And when I say land tiles, I mean the colorful ones, these gray ones in the middle, do not have to be taken away. If all the land tiles are taken away, the game ends and we score. The other way the game ends is when certain things happen, tiles are removed from the shard. This is the shard. When they're removed from the shard, some of these gray ones, these barren tiles, will have bad guy stuff on the other side. And if it does, it goes into this shard integrity track. If all 6 of these slots are filled, the game ends immediately. We've destroyed the shard, we've reduced its integrity beyond a level where it's reasonable for us to hang out here, and the game ends. That is, in my experience, the way the game usually ends. This track gets filled up. I've certainly come close in multiplayer games to eating up all these lands, but it's the shard integrity track gets filled up quicker than you might expect. All right, well, why don't we start playing, and again, I'll explain more as I go. The game's played with these action cards. Each of the 4 frogs in play right now, the game supports up to 6 players, by the way. Each of the 4 frogs in play has 5 of their colored cards in here, and we're going to simply flip one over, and that's who's going to take a turn. Now, I'm the green frog, and so I got lucky here, and drew this green card right away. So I'm going to take the first turn. My frog is not yet in play, so the first thing I have to do is send them out onto the shard. They've got to go onto the outside of the shard, so I couldn't land like right in the middle. In the solitaire game, you do put these frogs sort of in the middle. There's a way to set them up, and they don't follow the same rules as me in that regard. But I must land somewhere on the outside, and I have to go onto one of these barren tiles. Now I'm going to choose to go to this one right here. Now every frog has an ability card. My ability is Blink. Blink is one of my favorites. I took it at random from this deck. These Robo Frogs also have ability cards. However, I don't know what they are, and certain things in the game will cause me to flip them over to reveal them and give them access to some of the stuff on the card. The Robo Frogs don't get access to everything on the card, whereas I get special abilities, special text. In the solitaire game, the Robo Frogs don't care about the abilities, they care about some dice icons that'll tell them what colored dice to use. And again, we'll talk about that when it comes up. But anyway, so I have the Blink Frog ability. The big thing that gives me is the ability to sort of sidestep at the start of my action. Now on your turn, you take a single action, and you have an option of taking an extra action, but it costs you some of your resources. You have a resource called oomph, and when I spend some, I'll explain it. But the blink frog allows me to make a little sidestep. So I'm gonna do that blink, that little sidestep, over onto this mountain hex, okay? Now I will take my action. Landing onto the outside of this at the start of the game is not an action. All right, so my action is going to be to eat some of that land. Most of the actions you can do in this game are going to be moving, attacking, or eating / disgorging some food that you have underneath you. Hey Garrick, I'm happy to see you, and this is completely legal, completely on the level, very legal, very cool frog play. And there's honestly, you can't prove otherwise. I could show you all these cards, but then I would be cheating, and I don't cheat. So I'm just going to continue to play by the rules legally. All right, so my first action is going to be eating this hunk of land. When I eat it, it goes to the bottom of my gullet, right? So your gullet has 4 slots in it, and it'll go to the lowest open slot. Now that's my action. If I wanted, I could take a second action at the cost of 2 oomph. Let me switch over here, you can maybe see a little bit better. So I have these chunky little crystals called oomph. They're resources. You have 6 of them at your disposal. You start with all 6 available, and as you spend them, they get exhausted. Okay, and then there are ways in which you can unexhaust them for use later on. I can, on my turn after I take an action, I can spend 2 of that oomph to take another action if I want. The Robo-Frogs don't use oomph. They don't have any. They don't use any. They never take extra actions. And there's an instance where they have like 1 phantom oomph. There's an ability that'll let you steal oomph from other players, other frogs. And so they have like a virtual oomph for that purpose, but otherwise they do not care about oomph whatsoever. I, on the other hand, do. And so my extra action is going to be, I am going to take an extra action, and I'm actually just going to chomp away on this other piece of land. All right, so I've taken 2 pieces of land, and that's going to be the end of my turn. I only get 1 extra action per turn if I desire. I can't keep spending oomph to do extra actions. So next, now I'm sweating here. Normally I'd hope maybe that this is mine, but now that I have eyes on me and I don't want to be seen as a cheat and a liar and a thief, I'm hoping this is not going to be green. And it is gray. Whew, thank God. All right, so gray is going to go next to this frog. Even though they're on the same team, they still take discrete turns. All right, so the gray frog is hanging out up here. Like I said, they have sort of a flow chart they'll follow. Depending on if they're on the shard or if they're in the ether, they'll do different things. So why don't we just kind of go through this? And yes, John, I will be saying oomph a lot, and I'll try to say it with a little gusto, a little oomph you might say every time I say it, because it is a great resource name. All right, so the first thing they'll try to do, if they have food in their gullet, at least 2 food in their gullet, they will leap into the ether. And the reason for that is because in order to put stuff into your vault, you have to be in the ether, okay? So if the Robo-Frog has food in their gullet, at least 2, they'll leap into the ether. Well, that's not the case with gray. So otherwise, if the player frog is targetable and within range, they can only leap a certain distance. If I have food in my gullet, they will attempt to attack me and steal it, all right? So I have currently 2 food in my gullet, so I could potentially be a target. And the amount of hexes you can leap is equal to the largest number shown on your gullet track, okay? Robo-Frogs have a little bit of extra leaping ability, though. They can leap the highest number plus 1. So while in this, if I was gray, I could only leap 4, they can actually leap 5. And it's actually not true that I could only leap 4, I could leap 5, but it costs me oomph to do it. They don't care about oomph, they just get a free +1 move. So if he can move 5, he will attack me. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He actually is exactly within range of me. So I am targetable, I have land in my gullet. This gray frog, this gray baddie is gonna attack me. They're gonna go 1, 2, very, very nimble and dexterous with my ability to hold on to this clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna attack me from right there. Okay. When a Robofrog attacks, they flip over their ability card. So gray's going to flip over their ability card, and they are mutagenic. They're a mutagenic frog. Again, the text does not matter for Robofrogs. All they care about are these little icons on the upper right or upper left. That means, that dictates rather the type of dice they'll be rolling in different arenas of combat, let's say. So they in this case are going to be rolling white dice for attacking on the shard, when I am on the shard. This game does not play anything like Mushroom Eaters, but it certainly has like psychedelic art to it. It has fantastic art. The art in this game is wild. I'm super into this art. I know there's been some talk about selling like prints of this or posters of the art or something. I know people have been asking for it. I think Jim has suggested it's a possibility. I really hope it happens because I would absolutely buy some of this art. It's very cool. Is it a tactical minigame or area control or a Fever Dream Simulator? Maybe closer to a Fever Dream Simulator mixed with a tactical minis game. What you're trying to do is collect resources and like line them up in your vault in a sort of Connect 4 / Tetris sort of configuration. I don't know what I'd compare this to. It's got minis, there are tactics to it, but there's also like long-term strategy in terms of how you're lining stuff up, a bit of risk management. I've heard Jim's games are super unique and hard to compare to other stuff. I have a hard time comparing this to other stuff. So Brian, hopefully you can see this and maybe get an idea of how it works. It's a cool game though, but you have to like nonsense. This game has random nonsense to it. Anyway. So the color of these circles is going to dictate the type of dice that the owner of that ability uses. In this case, the little hand up top means combat on the shard. We're fighting on the shard. So this frog is going to use white dice, which are the worst. There's white, yellow, and red dice, and that dictates how high or low they can roll. The white dice go from 0 to 5, the yellow dice go from 1 to 6, and the red dice go from 2 to 7. And higher is basically always better. So red is the best. Also the rarest. So this dude's attacking with a white die. I have yellow for land combat up here, so I'm going to attack with yellow dice, which is good for me. Now, the offense also gets to choose initially, and defense gets to choose too, but offense picks first, if they're going to enhance their combat roll in any way. There are two options. You can overpower, which gives you a second die of the same color to roll, and you take the higher result. And you can do either one of these, or both. You can also boost your combat, which adds 1 to the final result. So effectively upgrades it to the next tier of die. It would turn a white die into a yellow to a red, and a red into some kind of, I don't know, purple die. That would go from 3 to 8. The Robofrogs, if they are attacking and their ability card is face up, will always overpower. And once again, they don't care about oomph. Take a drink. So they will automatically roll 2 dice if their ability card's face up. So they're going to roll these 2. Now I have the option to do those same things. Add extra dice or enhance the final result of the die. Each option costs me 2 oomph. Okay? Oomph it can be a little bit hard to come by. You don't want to get caught with none in a bad situation. I'm already rolling a higher die, a better die. And so I don't think I'm going to spend anything to enhance this. I'm going to hang on to my 4 oomph and I'm just going to roll. So we're going to roll these dice. Higher number wins. They're doing the white ones, I'm doing the yellow one. Okay, so they got 2 1s. They don't add them together or anything. They take the higher result. In this case, doesn't matter. Both are 1s. And I only rolled a single die and I got a 3. So I won that combat. As the defender, that just means I don't get anything bad imposed upon me. The offense doesn't gain anything. They'll end up next to me right there in the direction from whence they came. So good for me. I won that combat. And that's going to be the end of Gray's turn. The Robofrogs never take special action or extra actions. All right, next card is yellow. Okay, so yellow, same thing. Do they have food in their gullet? No, so they're not going to go to the ether. Are they, am I targetable, which means I am within one of the 6 hex directions from them? I'm not. I'm kind of in between 2, so I am not targetable. They won't attack me. And so then they will harvest. They're standing on this tile here, so they're just going to go ahead, eat it, stick it into the bottom of their gullet. That's it. Next turn. Red. Look at that. One of each. How, I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Beautiful, I guess. Red. Same thing. No food in the gullet. They're not going to the ether. I am not targetable. They're not going to attack me. Therefore, they're going to eat this mesa. All right, and now it's green. It's actually, this is going very much in order. I did shuffle these very well. There is absolutely a good chance, and times this game it'll happen, where multiple frogs will go, or a single frog rather, will go multiple times in a row. There's this kind of unbalance to it. Someone might be able to go 4 times in a row. We each have 5 cards in here. That can be good or it can be bad. Sometimes it's nice to have all your turns at the back end so you don't have to worry about someone, attacking you between actions. Serendipitous, Garrick, thank you. Serendipitous. All right, so I'm going to go now. I think it might be worth it to get rid of this. That also protects me from getting attacked, right? Because their little flowchart says they only attack me when I have food in my belly. If I don't have food, I'm not going to get attacked. So if I jump out to the ether and then maybe spend extra oomph to spit this out, I'm kind of safe. At least sort of. On the shard, I'm safe. Or I could try to collect some more stuff first. You know what? No, my action's gonna be hopping into the ether. Now that's not a free blink because I can only blink to another shard location, and I'm going into the ether. Now the shard is a bunch of discrete hexes. The ether is one big location. If I'm here and the gray frog is here, we're both in the same spot. We're both in the ether. All right, so I'm going to jump to the ether. I am also going to take an extra action, zoop, and spit these into my vault. Now, when I spit these into my vault, I can put them in wherever I want, right? I could put them in anywhere, but I have to put them in from the top of the gullet to the bottom. Hey, Domfluff, and hey, Jim. I'm happy you were able to stop by, Jim. So I will have to put this hill in first. And I can put it wherever I want, and I'm going to put it right here in the lower left. And then I can put the mountain wherever I want. Now, each hex can hold up to 3 land hexes, land chits. So I could stack that like that. And in fact, I am going to, because if I can create a little sandwich of hexes here, a lowland, which are these thinner hexes, a highland, which are these chunky boys, and then another lowland of the same type, I will create what's called a siphon, which will auto refill my oomph every turn. So I want to do that, but there's a specific sort of type that you have to be putting in here. It's got to be the same domain, right? So there are 8 different types of land hexes, and each of those fit into one of 4 domains. So like swamps and lakes are both water domains, right? Hills and mountains are both like terra domain. I forget the terminology. Stone domain. And so if I can make a little sandwich of the same domains, I will siphon out its energy and reinvigorate myself with more oomph, which is good because again, oomph can be kind of hard to keep in stock if you're using it, and you want to use it. Anyway, so I hopped in here, bonus action, spit all my stuff into my vault, flip over the next card, which is, hey, it's green, it's me again. All right, stacking this deck has paid off. All right, now I don't want to hang out in the ether. Hanging out in the ether is bad news. It's real bad news brown out here. This guy is going to jump down maybe and smack me into the outer dimensions, and then they can actually steal from my vault. Normally your vault is locked down, but if you're in the outer dimensions, ooh boy, that ain't good. Your vault's going to get raided. And it's like top of their priority if you're out in the outer dimensions. So I'm going to get back onto the shard, because the shard is safe, especially if my belly's empty. And I want to get another one of these hills, so I'm actually going to go ahead and land over here. I still have to land on the outside. Unfortunately, there are no hills on the outside, so I'm just going to land next to one. And I'm not going to take a bonus action. I'm gonna save this, just in case I need it. Maybe I'll want to, move, and I don't know. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. Don't stop judging me. All right, yellow. Yellow gets to go. Yellow, again, they have food in their gullet, but they will only go to the ether to disgorge it if they have at least 2 land in their gullet, and he does not have 2 land. I am not able to be attacked, and so they will simply eat this. What is this? This is not a hill, it is a desert. It's a mesa that's a desert. I hope I'm explaining this well, Jim. I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants here, and I hope it's coming out clear as I sort of ramble as I go along. All right, so that is their turn. Next, Gray, the Gray Frog. Gray has nothing in their belly because they attacked me last turn. So they're not going to go to the ether. I am not within range to be attacked. And so what they're going to do is harvest. But hey, guess what? They're not standing on any land. They're standing on barrens. So what they do, if they can't immediately harvest something and the flowchart is saying, yo, you better go harvest, they're going to leap toward the nearest hex that has land on it. Scott, I understand what you're talking about, but there are 2 lands that are equidistant from this dang gray frog. Okay, calm down, guys, I understand. But Ricky has created a system that allows you to resolve this with no issues or no biases whatsoever. You simply roll a d6, in this case a real d6, a yellow die, and that's going to determine which of those 2 equidistant hexes this frog jumps to. So we're going to roll this sucker right there, and you got a 2. So I've put it on the bottom here, a little honeycomb. You look at the number you rolled, which in this case is 2, and it's like a 1 o'clock position, and they'll go to that hex. If that is not a valid hex, in this case it does not have land on it, you will go clockwise from there until you hit a valid hex, which is going to be this meadow. And now next turn, they'll probably end up harvesting it. Okay? Ricky's created a real smooth thing here. It works really well. And as you see, we're flying along. These frogs are taking actions. They're doing whatever they want. And yellow's going to get a chance to go again. Red is just hanging out up here by themselves. They haven't gone for a little bit, but that's okay. I'm sure they will catch up. All right, yellow, same deal. They have food in their belly, so the first option they're going to take, which is jump to the ether. They're going to go boing boing right into the ether. Okay, and that's it. Next turn, red, lonely little red, as I mentioned before. Only has 1 thing in their gullet. I'm not able to be attacked right here, so they are going to go ahead and eat up this piece of land. Next turn, red once more. Red has 2 lands in their gullet, and they're going to go ahead and go boing boing into the ether. I don't know about other people that have played this, but I always put people in the ether like over here. Even though like up here you're still in the same spot, you know, wherever out here you're in the same spot. I feel like this, like there's sort of an open area here, and it almost it like reminds me that everyone's in the same spot. Red is now in there. Dom Fluff, you say that Cosmic Frog is unbelievably cool, very beautiful, very weird, fantastically themed, but the sum didn't quite gel. So it is, again, it's kind of hard for me to compare it to other things. I feel like people need to play it to know if they're going to enjoy it or not. I think it's hard to say like, oh, if you like this other game, you might like Cosmic Frog, or, you know, it's sort of like this mixed with this. It's very much its own thing. Probably not for everybody. I've enjoyed it a lot so far. The few people I've played it with have been into it, but I can absolutely see someone not being into it. Kind of like Cosmic Encounter, the order that you draw like turns in can end up being a little... It can probably leave some games a little flat, right? Like if one person gets to go a bunch and they do a lot of things, and they are maybe attacking someone and keeping them down too much, and that person isn't really getting the comeback they're looking for, it can maybe be a little weird, but yeah. So red jumped down to there. Every time I stream, I get lost in what I just did. So red ate food, and then red jumped down. I hope I'm not doing red dirty. First thing red did was hop, and then red ate, and then red jumped down. Yep. Next turn is yellow. Yellow is now, again, so this is the little flowchart I have for shard, RoboFrog stuff. And on the other side I have for ether. So yellow's in the ether, yellow's going to do cool guy ether stuff. The first thing they'd try to do is raid. In order to raid, there has to be a target in the outer dimensions. And I'm not there. I'm their only target. I'm not in the outer dimensions. I wouldn't be caught dead in the outer dimensions. Next, if they have gullet, or land in their gullet, they'll disgorge. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to spit it into the vault. So the way it goes into the vault is there's a little chart here. They'll put it into the lowest numbered slot that has the fewest lands. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So 1 is the lowest, so they'll put that one right there. Now, 2 would be the lowest numbered with the fewest lands, so this one's going to go right there. Okay? So they're going to sort of zigzag around, and then they'll start stacking stuff. All right, Gray. Gray is going to harvest. They don't have anything in their gullet. I'm not targetable. Next thing is eating. They're going to eat. All right. Then Gray gets to go again. Gray is going to hop over to here. This is the closest one. They're going to hop to that. Then Gray gets to go a third time. Bummer, Jim. Bummer to hear that there aren't no prints in the works. I would certainly love some of these. I would love to print some of these up and frame them and hang them up. So Gray hopped over to there, and then Gray's going to harvest this. Then Green, that's me. All right, so I have nothing in my gullet. I want to go get this. I have the blink ability, so I'm going to freebie move onto that. And then my action is going to be gulp, chomping it right down. Oh, there's an expansion in the works. That's very cool. All right. And then I could take a bonus action, but I'm not going to. You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll take a bonus action, and then next turn, recover. Yeah, I'm going to take a bonus action, and it's going to be leaping. 1, 2, 3 over to there. Okay. Next action, yellow. Yellow, now with a freshly freed up gullet. Again, no one to raid. Nothing to disgorge now. Nothing to attack, and so they will land. They'll land nearest to the player frog. So yellow is going to land over here. And once again, I'm going to use this die to determine which one they land on. They have 2 choices right now. And so they're going to land on one. I'm sort of the center frog in this equation. And I got a 4, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4. The closest one going clockwise is this spot right here. So that's where they're going to land. Ooh, psionics. I'd be interested to see how that works, Jim. Is it coming to the tabletop sim mod like before it's put out? I'd be certainly interested in trying it out. All right, then red. So red is going to disgorge. Goes here. Goes here. All right. Green. That's me. And that, I think, is going to be my last turn, I believe. So I think I might want to get away from yellow. I'm going to use the blink ability to blink. Do I want to get away and make a siphon, or do I want to get greedy and try to collect more stuff and maybe hope I can defend against yellow? I'm gonna be greedy. I'm going to use my blink ability to go onto that mesa, and then I'm going to take the recover action. Recover recovers all of your expended oomph, but if you do it, it is the only thing you get to do on your turn. No bonus actions, so I'm going to recover, expecting yellow's going to attack me pretty soon. And red will take the last action of the round. Nothing in their gullet, not able to raid, nothing to attack. Once again, they're going to land as close to me as they can, which is this hex right there. No need to roll because that is the closest one they can land on. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and shuffle all these cards up. In addition, these 2 cards are going into the deck. They're event cards. I will explain them when they come up. So I hope this is making sense to people so far. I hope that you kind of understand, frogs are moving around, trying to eat land, trying to spit it into the vault. It's sort of that over and over again, right? And you try to beat up other frogs to steal their land. You try to avoid getting beaten up by other frogs. Once vaults start to get pretty full, especially when their vault gets full, I feel like I'm going to want to try to combat them in the ether so I can steal from them. Because, as you can see, I've added 2 things to my vault. They've added 4. and they have more coming. So they're definitely going to be much more industrious than me in regards to putting stuff into the vault. Giant space frogs are eating reality and making new universes inside their gullet. It should make sense, Dom. I feel like, Jim, you should pitch this as a High Frontier expansion. Cosmic Frogs could be Module 6 in High Frontier 4th Edition. I think it would fit well. You could build a Frog Burnell, maybe, and, you know, have little people living inside the frogs. I think it would work. I think it would work. The sites in High Frontier are already hexes, so, like, you could even put these probably on the sites in High Frontier. I think it makes perfect sense. Okay, so cards are shuffled up. I'm going to go ahead and draw one, and the first one I draw is the Splinter Strike. Okay, so Splinter Strike uses this other deck of cards over here called Splinter Location cards. I don't know how easily you can tell. Let me see if you can tell from the other view at all. Maybe, maybe not. So some of these have kind of orange and yellow borders around the hex. And those are potential impact sites for splintered pieces of land, space debris, that might be crashing into our shard. So I'm going to draw one of these cards at random, and that is going to dictate where the splinter strikes. I'm going to say it is right over here. So that is this one. And what's going to happen now is this location that it hits, every hex on top of this is going to be destroyed. Okay, so if there were multiple hexes on it, if there were 2 pieces of land and a baron, all those things they go kablooey. Okay, and then every hex, every shown hex, visible hex around that impact zone also goes away. So in this instance, this one's going to go away. And it is, hey, it's a fracture. Remember those funny little fractures I mentioned at the start of the game? Well, this is one of them. The back is either a plain gray or it is this little volcanic sucker. So this is going to go right there. And now, I said earlier, the way that the game can end most likely is from these things getting flipped over, and it is probably because of these splinter strikes, right? So I'm going to flip over a few more of them here, which could very, very quickly fill this up. So that goes away. Now, we're going to remove the top hex of each surrounding one. So this is the top hex. That's a blank guy. I also want to point out something that I like about games is when you can clean up as you play. So this is out of the game. I'm going to put it in the bag that I'll store it in. Then this one is getting removed. Same deal. This one gets removed. Now there are 2 hexes here, but again, only the visible one gets removed. So this meadow is gone, but this baron remains. Going to clean this guy up as well. This one gets removed. It's another fracture. So we are a third of the way through. There are 6 spots here. This forest gets removed. And that's it. That's all of them. Okay, so there's one Splinter Strike card. I do not have to worry about that coming up again. If that Splinter Strike, pow, lands in a spot where there are frogs, bad stuff happens. If it is directly into a frog, really bad stuff happens. So you kind of want to, once the Splinter Strike card is shuffled into the deck, you want to be careful about landing on those dangerous locations. Now that it's gone, though, don't have to worry about it for the rest of this deck. Okay? All right, so next is green. It's my turn. All right, so green. I have all my oomph. I don't think I'm going to sidestep. I want to be where I'm at. So I think I will just eat up this mesa. And then I am going to... You know what? Hold on. Let me take that back. I forgot what I had before. I actually would rather be in this hex. So I'm now going to use my blink to blink one over. And then I'm going to eat this mountain. Because what I want is the same type of land in a row. I misread before. For some reason, I had a brain fart, figured I want more mesas. No, I want more mountains. So I'm going to use my blink to go there, and then I'm going to eat that as my action. And I will take a bonus action, because none of these guys are going to jump into the ether. Gray might, but then they're not going to attack me right away. So I'm going to spend 2 oomph to leap. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go this way. 1, 2 into the ether. So now I'm in the ether. All right, next card, yellow. Yeah, we'll live on this top-down view for a little bit. All right, so yellow is up there. They don't have any food in their gullet. They won't go into the ether. I am not within attack range on the shard. They won't attack me. Therefore, they will harvest this mountain, which is a bit of a bummer because I do want more mountains. So now I need to go steal that from them because there are only so many mountains on the map. Next is gray. Gray has a full belly, so gray is jumping into the ether. Next is red. Red doesn't have a full belly. I'm not anywhere to be seen. They're going to go to 1, 2, 3. They're going to go onto this mountain as well. Again, they're stealing my mountains. I don't like that. Gray. Gray now could attack me. In fact, I think gray will attack me, right? No, they will disgorge. Raid is the first thing they'll attempt to do, but I have to be in the outer dimensions to be raided. Then they will attempt to disgorge if they have land in their gullet, which they do. So there and there are where the next two go. They're collecting diversity, which is common with these robo-frogs. They just kind of grab everything they can. And diversity is worth points at the end of the game. Then red gets to go. I'm still showing this card here like this is the camera that I have up. Red is going to eat this mountain. Okay? Red is going to eat this hill. Yellow is going to eat this hill. Now they're taking all my mountains and all my hills, and that ain't cool. Gray, all right, I'm going to get a really back-ended turn here. I've gone nothing once. Gray is now going to attack me. Raid is the top, not in the outer dimensions. Disgorge is next. They have nothing in their belly. Attack is the next. And so I'm hanging out here to attack. Gray is going to flip this down, and they're now going to attack me. Now, my combat in the ether is not that great. It's white, as is theirs. Their card now is face down, though, so they're only going to roll one. They're not going to overpower. I don't want to get knocked into the outer dimensions, especially not before I get to disgorge this. So I'm going to spend 2 oomph. Maybe I'll go all in. Maybe I'll spend 2 oomph to overpower and 2 oomph to boost. Let's go all in. Let's go all in. So I'm spending all 4. I'm going to effectively turn... I'm going to roll two yellow dice, basically. So let's roll theirs first. They roll a 5. That is the best they could have rolled. And that could be bad news for me. So they have a 5. I'm going to roll these 2. And I have a 5 as well, though. Okay, so I saw that 0 and it disappointed me. But I got this 4. Now, again, I added 2 dice, but I also boosted my result by 1. So their 5 versus my 5 means nothing happens. We clash. No bad news stuff happens. I'm fine. I'm very happy about that. And then Ether Flux. So Ether Flux is the other action. The other event card, rather. Starting with me, now normally I'd have a choice. I don't really have a choice here, but I'll explain it in full anyway. When the Ether Flux comes up, something is going to happen with my card. I'm mutating, okay? So I either do nothing, let the mutation flow over me, and I will stick this card into the bottom of the ability deck, which I'm going to have to do anyway, which is why I'm doing it, and then I draw a new card from the top of the deck. Or I can spend 1 oomph to resist the mutation and keep my current ability, which I would have done because I like Blink a lot. Finally, my third option is spend 2 oomph to take a new ability card and select if I want the new one or the old one. Okay, so you get a little flexibility if you want to spend a bunch of oomph. I didn't have any to spend, so I had to take a new one. The Robo-Frogs, they get no choice in the matter. Again, they don't have oomph. They don't use oomph. They will simply lose all these cards and gain a new one each, which is a bit of a bummer because I knew what Gray had. I knew Gray was bad at combat, which means I could kind of attack Gray sort of willy-nilly and not really worry that they're going to get nice dice, right? But now I have no idea what they have, so Gray is not safe. All right. So that's the Ether Flux. Next, Gray gets to go, and once again, Gray's going to attack me. So let's see what Gray has. Gray has Massive. They're not good at Ether combat, but they are good at land combat. Whereas I'm the Marauder. I'm good at land combat. I'm good at raiding. I'm not good at ether combat. So once again, we're going to be stuck with these white dice. However, I have no oomph to spend this time. And their card is face up, which means they are rolling 2 white dice, and I'm going to be stuck with 1 lonely, unmodified white die in response. All right, this isn't going to be bad for me, I feel. So let's roll their 2 dice first. They got a 3. That's not too bad. So they got a 3. I hope, at least a 3. A 5. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so once again, the Marauder, the green, the good guy, the Green Ranger, holds on. This stupid gray putty doesn't have anything to do with me, doesn't have anything to give me, despite how big they are. In space, we're all weightless. We're all just floating around, bud. I don't care if you're huge. And now we're going to go with yellow. Come on, green, man. Where's my cards? Yellow, full belly, jumping into the ether. Red, full belly, jumping into the ether. So this is bad. This ain't cool. I got this whole, like, bad guy gang staring me down right now. But let me take a look here. So red has gone 4 times. Yellow's gone 3 times. Gray has gone 4 times. I've gone once. So and both events have come up. There is a good chance this next card is mine. And I hope it is, because really what I want is 2 in a row, right? I want 2 in a row. So I can disgorge, go bloop bloop, and then get onto land. That's what I really want to happen right now. Come on, green, baby. Green. All right. I came out here to disgorge originally. I feel like I have to disgorge. I can't betray my heart. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to stack this hill on top of that. So now I have a beautiful little siphon here. At the start of every turn, I'm going to auto-regenerate some. All right. Come on, green again. Yeah, yellow. Yellow. All right. Yellow is going to disgorge. Boom and boom. Okay, next card. Green, thank God. I get 1 oomph back for my siphon, and then I'm going to land. Because I'm not good at space combat. I'm not good at space combat, but I am good at raiding. So what I'd like to do is get oomph, come back out here, and beat these guys up. So maybe I don't even want to come back out here. Maybe I just want to beat these guys up. But they're all there. That's the fear. They're all there. So even though I'm going to get... How many cards are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of these are mine. Maybe I land on the shard and then goad them into coming out there, and hopefully I'll be able to go again and maybe kind of pick one off. Tough decisions here, tough decisions. Do I just try to fight them? I'm not good at fighting, but I am good at raiding. And I can raid if I knock them out to here. Let's... and yes, Jim, this is a really nice production. This is a super nice looking game. The neoprene is nice. The hexes are nice. It's a pain in the butt to set up. I'll say that. I'll talk about that at the end. But the game's a pain in the butt to set up. It is a lot of fun, though, to play, and it looks and feels great. Let's see. Gosh, I'm having such a hard decision here. Do I want to stay and fight? Do I want to be a tough guy and fight? I think I might want to be a tough guy and fight. Because I'd like to steal from red, and I'd like to raid. You know what? I'm gonna risk it all and be a tough dude here and fight, I think. No, I'm not. No, I'm gonna be a coward and run. I'm gonna be a coward, and I'm gonna land on the shard right here. Because I want to collect some more of this. Alright, next is probably me, yeah. I am going to recover 1 and leap onto here. And then green again. Green 3 times in a row. Let's recover 1. I will harvest this mountain. And I will not take a bonus action. Well, if I take a bonus action, I'll get 1 back. Yeah, I get to reroll combat dice. You're right, I get to reroll combat dice. I'm still... My worry about rerolling combat dice, it's nice, right? It's very good. My worry is they're going to have yellow and red dice. I fear, what is it, Empyrean has the red dice, and a few have yellow dice. But yes, I do. Marauder does have an active ability. I can re-roll my combat dice, but it costs me oomph. So let's. I could harvest again. My extra actions don't cost that much, so I'm gonna spend 1 to take a bonus action and harvest this. An extra action of mine is only 1 oomph if it's harvesting or raiding, so I'm gonna harvest. Then red. Red has a full belly. They're going to go here, and then now because this is all full, it's sort of even Stevens again. You start off with this number 1, so they're going right there. And then gray. Gray is going to land as close to me as they can, which is... let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this one. And then finally yellow. Yellow is also going to land. That's a 1. They're going to land right here. They're surrounded me. Time to shuffle and go into the next round. Now, in my experience, this game usually lasts around 4 rounds. If we're doing the short game, which it is, once per turn when my card is flipped up. Sure. Shuffle these. Shuffle these. Shuffle these. All right. All right. Jim, when you say once per turn when my card is face up. So my card is face up. I got my siphon back when my card got drawn. You're saying once per turn as in once per like full run of these cards, or every time my card comes up? All right. Let's draw a card. It's red. Red takes the first turn. They're going to land close to me, as close to me as possible, which is right there. Then gray. So gray, now that we're on the shard, gray is going to attack me. Okay, so gray is going to flip this face down, thankfully. And so it's going to be white dice versus white... No, versus yellow. I have yellow dice. All right, so they're not going to overpower. I am going to spend 2 to add 1 to this result. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna go tit for tat here. Straight away, yellow die versus white die. I have the yellow. And I got a 6. So cool. I survived that. Red. Red is going to attack me. Let's see what red has. Red has the Mind Borer, which is all white dice. So for the purpose of the solo, once the card is flipped over, you use the stuff they have printed, but they only have white dice. So once again, it's going to be 2 white dice for them this time versus 1 yellow for me. I'm gonna play it risky again. I'm not gonna flip this or enhance this at all. 2, 3, 0. So they did beat me in that. So red beat me in that combat. They beat me by 1. It's 3 to 2. I could re-roll my dice though, so I'm gonna spend this oomph to re-roll my 2. And that's down to a 1. I'm gonna do it one more time. Correct. Yes. Okay. You can't use it on a second action. Yeah. It's just when your card comes up at the start of your turn, you get 1 siphon. And if you take extra actions, you're not getting more. So I got a 5. So I re-rolled twice. I got a 5 on my last one. Used the rest of my oomph, but it was worth it. Red didn't beat me. Yeah. I got you, Jim. All right. Next turn is red again. Red is going to continue to attack me because I have food in my belly. So red is going to flip this face down, but it doesn't really matter for the dice. I guess it does, because it means they only get to roll 1. So all right, here we go. I'm yellow once more. 4 to 2. Red still doesn't do anything to me. Yellow. I'm gonna get beat up bad here. Yellow has, okay, yellow's the Warbringer. They're gonna roll yellow dice. So they're gonna match me on this. They get 2 yellow dice, I get 1. They are rolling 2 dice, so they got a 5. Okay. I have no oomph, so this is my result. Come on, 5 or 6. 4, no good. Okay, so yellow hits me. Yellow's gonna knock me back 1, because the difference between 5 and 4 is 1, so they knock me back 1 step. They will advance into the hex that I was in, and then if I have food in my gullet, they're gonna steal it from me. Okay. They steal the difference between the roll. It's a difference of 1, so they will steal the top food from my gullet. When I land on a hex, I bust through it because I'm a big boy. So I'm going to break this, knocking me into the ether, and it's a blank back. So it does not go into the shard integrity track. It just gets put away. Okay? Splinter Strike. Let's see what we got for Splinter Strike. We've got this one right here. All right, so starting in the middle, it's nothing. And then going 1 o'clock clockwise, let's do nothing, nothing, nothing. Forest goes away. Shard integrity is halfway down now, and then lake goes away. All right, so we're halfway through the shard integrity track right now, which is bad news for me because I don't have that much in here and they have a bunch, right? So I want to try to get out there and steal that while also sticking some more stuff in here for myself. Next action is red. I'm going to get a very back-ended turn here. Red is not able to attack me. They don't have anything in their belly, so they're going to hop to here in anticipation of eating it up. Gray, same deal. Gray is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to go to that one. Green, there's me. Okay. I get my siphon. And then let's... Do I want to spit this out now to stick that there for some points? I've only gone once. No, I haven't gone at all. I got knocked back. So I have yet to go other than this card. So maybe what I want to do... They're not going to come attack me yet. So I am going to regurgitate this 1. It's not the most efficient, but I want to get it out of my belly so it doesn't get stolen. Green again. I get a siphon back. All right. Maybe I want to go attack. I want to maybe knock 1 into... Red is the weakest, I know. Red is the weakest, but I can't hit red from where I'm at. I could maybe knock yellow into the ether. And when I attack yellow, I'll flip their card. So if I attack yellow, I'm going to flip their card down, which will help me fight them. And if I knock them into the ether, that's pretty cool. So I might try to do that. So let's go attack yellow. Let's be bold. Let's attack yellow. So that's going to flip this face down. I'm attacking from the ether right here. And I am going to roll just 1 yellow die, and they're just going to roll 1 white die. Yeah, let's do it. 1 versus 2. I'm going to re-roll my 1. It's the worst I could have gotten. I got a 2 that time. So that's also the second worst I could have gotten. Oh yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Clean up those splintered barons underneath the game tile. Yeah, I do want to win this combat. 4, okay. 1, 2, knocks him into the ether. I'm right here. Let's go. I guess we flip a card. I don't have anything left. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to think about what I'm trying to do here. Yellow. Let's go And have yellow land. Yellow's gonna land back on the. Actually, you know what? No, they have stuff in their gullet. So if they have stuff in their gullet at all, I think, right? Yeah, if they have land in their gullet, they disgorge. So they're gonna disgorge to here. Green. That's me. I get a siphon back. Let's go and I think I might just recover. I think I might recover. I would love to be able to go out here because gray could attack me. Gray might well attack me. I don't know what they have under there. And I want to be able to raid yellow. So I'm going to recover. My action is recovering. Red. Red can't attack me from there. They don't have food in their belly, so they're going to eat. Green. Okay, cool. I'm going to go attempt to take yellow down. They're going to have good dice against me, unfortunately. But here we are. So I'm going to hop into the ether. And then I'm going to take a bonus action, which is going to be attacking yellow. So yellow flips. Yellow is Warbringer, so they get yellow dice. In the ether, I only get white dice. I'm not a good combatant out in the ether, but I can re-roll. So they're going to roll 2 yellow. I am going to spend 2 to roll... I'm going to spend to roll, to add 1 to my result. I'm adding 1 to my result. Oh, you're, take the land from his gullet. You're right. You're right. I forgot to take the land from his gullet. So this should be in my belly. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thanks for watching out for me, Jim. I appreciate it. I forgot to grab that from him. When you beat a frog in combat, you could take food from their gullet, as they did to me earlier. So, yes, take that from him. All right. All right. Jim is keeping me honest here, which is good, because in this case, the honesty is helping me. So let's roll. I'm adding 1 to this. So they got a 5 versus my 4. I'm going to spend an oomph to re-roll it. So that's a 5 for me as well, but I really want to win this encounter. So I'm going to spend my last oomph to re-roll again. There's a 5. Look at that. This is working out for me. All right, so that 5 is actually a 6, which will knock this frog into the first outer dimension, which makes them lose their ability card. Now, when I knock them into the outer dimension in combat, I can take from their gullet as normal, but I could also do a free raid on them. And so I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to raid them, and I raid with yellow dice. Now, raiding is it's the most complex action in the game, certainly. When I raid, I'm going to use the colored die that I have here, and what I need to do is on that roll, beat my raid target. And my raid target is going to be set based on what they have in their vault and how far into the outer dimensions they are. Unfortunately, this dude is only 1 layer deep to the outer dimensions, so I can only steal 1 point worth of stuff. And a highland is worth 2 points, a lowland is worth 1 point. So I can only steal 1 lowland, sadly. It's still something, though. So I'm going to set my raid target at 1. So I'm going to roll this. As long as I beat that target, I succeed. And I got a 5. So I did beat that target, no problem. And so I'm going to go ahead and take... They don't really have any lined up right now. I think I might want to take this one. If I take this hill, I mean, that can be worth more points for me. I gotta go for diversity at some point, but right now I'm gonna just steal this. I'm just gonna take this, and that goes into my gullet. In stealing that, they actually get to come back out too. They advance 1 step for every land stolen. He happened to be right here in the first, so he pops right back out immediately, gets a brand new card. All right, then Gray gets to go. Gray is going to harvest. Gray again. They're going to harvest again because they don't have... They have at least... if they have 2 land in their gullet, they'll jump in. If they have less than 2 land, In that case, they'd harvest more. Then Etherflux. So I'm once again losing my ability because I don't have any oomph to spend. I wish I did. So I'm going to get a new one. It is Temporis. And this dude, and this dude all lose. Temporis is actually alright. I don't know if Temporis is going to be that good in the Solitaire because Temporis lets me set aside my action card to like delay it so I can take multiple actions in a row later. I can make them re-roll dice as well, which I guess is pretty good. And they roll. Okay, so Temporis might be okay. The abilities, I don't know that that's going to be super useful, but we'll see. So that's the Etherflux. Green, that's me. I get a siphon, and I think, should I just hit yellow again? Should I just smack yellow back into the outer dimensions? I'm good at space combat. I'm good at raiding. I have like no oomph, which is risky. I also maybe want to just spit these out. But yellow is here. Yellow's vulnerable. Red's gonna eat. Gray will be hopping in. I think what I'm gonna do is I mean, my original goal was to beat up yellow, so I think I'm gonna keep beating up yellow. I'm gonna risk it all. Let me see. Actually, let me take a look. Let me look at the deck. How many times have I gone? This is actually my last. This is my last one. So I do want to be. I'm gonna play it safe. If I haven't won before, I'm trying to win here. I'm going to spit these into my vault. I'm gonna go here. Let's go here to set up for a siphon potentially later, and let's go here. All right, that's my action. I don't get an extra, and yellow gets to go. Yellow is going to raid, disgorge, and then attack. So yellow's attacking me. They'll flip over, and they are monstrous, so they get yellow for just about everything. Yeah, Jim, I feel like raiding is the hardest to explain. It's like you set a raid point, and you can't call for more than what they have, but also you can't call for more than the dimension they're in. Hopefully people got that. All right. So monstrous is bad for me because they roll the same dice I do. I can make them re-roll stuff, so I'll be doing that probably. All right, so they're gonna roll 2 yellow dice to attack me, and they got a 5 and a 3. I can make them re-roll all of these. I guess let me see what I get first. I got a 6, so no, I'm not going to make him re-roll anything. So I beat them 6-5, no problem. Yellow gets to go again, though. Flip this face down. Now they roll a white die, and I roll a yellow die. 6 to a 4. I won that one. Temporis. Our yellow's going to keep on coming, I guess, but it's all right. Temporis is holding it down. So 2 yellow for yellow. 2 yellow for yellow. They got a 4 and a 2. And I got a 4, so we're good. And then finally, gray is the last one to go. Gray's going to jump to the ether because they have food in their belly. Whew, all right, 3 turns down. 1, maybe 2 more to go, I'm guessing. It is very possible that a Splinter Strike doesn't fill up these 3, but we'll see. As it stands right now, I'm actually feeling okay, because I have a few in a row here. That's going to score me some points. And they don't have that much in a row. They have a bunch of stuff standing on its own. So they'll get diversity points. They're going to get probably 5 diversity right now. And then they're going to pick up... They're going to pick up like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points total. Okay, you know what? I'm feeling comfortable. So right now, I would like, I think, the game to end. Because I think I might get more points than them. 3, 9 is 13. Yeah, maybe not, actually. I think I might need a little more. I'm not going to math it out too much. I think I need a little more. But, all right. Action cards. Number 1, gray. Gray is going to disgorge. Going here, and then here. Then red. Red eats. Then red leaps. And then yellow attacks. Flip this down and attack me. So they get, it's a yellow versus a white. I'm the yellow. I beat them. Yellow's been beating me up pretty good, but I've been holding strong. They get 2 yellow. A 4 and a 2. And I got a 4. No problem, no problem. Tempora's holding it down. Green, I get an oomph back. Okay, I want to get out of here, I think. Or do I want to steal? I find myself in a spot where I feel like I want to run, but I'm pretty good at ether combat. I don't know what red has. Oh my goodness, so if I attack red, I could steal this from their gullet or raid them. And I don't know which I do at this point. Maybe raid because I get the yellow raids. I am going to, with green and 2 oomph, take a drink of water. Let me have a drink of water and think about this. Do I want to run or beat him up? Garrick says beat him up. They're all out here. The thing is, like, attacking, if they don't have food in their belly, attacking is high on the priority. So they're just gonna keep beating my butt. And I need diversity, but I can get that by attacking them. All right, Garrick, you're goading me into it. I'm gonna attack. I'm going to attack. Yellow is actually the most vulnerable because I'm gonna flip this face down, which means they only roll 1 white die. Oh, you're thinking this one should go up here, huh? That's true. That's true. So what I was thinking, Jim, was I would resolve these 2, right, for, what, 3 points. And then I'll eventually uncover this one, which would let me resolve these for another 3 points. What is the other option? This is 6 points, and then 1 point is 7. Okay, so it is actually worth it. It is a little more. I was trying to be too clever with my placement, when it's actually just worth more to do it that way. Okay. Jim said that I should put this over here, so I am going to. I mean, it's 3 versus 1. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of leeway, and so I'm gonna listen to the creator of the game and put them like that. All right. Also, hey Chris, happy to see you here. I'm showing no mercy, so I'm gonna attack yellow. Because this guy is gonna disgorge before he tries to attack. So red is not gonna attack me next. Yellow and gray will. So I'm gonna attack yellow, hopefully knocking him out to the outer dimensions. So all right, red, gray, sit back. Green is going after yellow again. All right, let's switch over. We can see these from the side for a little while. So these 2 are going to be going out here. Let's do it. Yeah, I flip that face down. I'm rolling my yellow die. They're going to roll a white die. I am not going to modify this at all. And that's a 2 versus a 2. I will re-roll their dice. I wish I modified this now. I'm suddenly wishing that 2 is no good. But they could get a 0. So I'm spending a noob, re-roll. They got a 5. I'm doing it again. They got a 0. Perfect. All right. That's great. Again, the drama. The last oomph I can spend gives me the result I need. So they get knocked back, bing, bing, into that dimension. So from there, they lose this ability. And then I am going to raid them. Okay, so I get my yellow die for raiding. I'm going to set the target this time, maybe at 2. Maybe I'll be risky and go for 2. Because then I can take one of their high ones, get a 4 in a row here, which is nice. Or I could go for diversity and maybe pick up something else. But I'm going to do it. I'm going for the big bucks here. I'm setting my raid score at 2. I got to get a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. The odds are in my favor. How could it not happen? Okay, well, it didn't happen. But you know what? I feel okay about that because that 1 wouldn't have gotten me anything anyway. So it's not like if I set my target lower, I would have succeeded. That was a failure no matter how you would cut it. All right. So that is my turn. Let's do Gray's turn. Gray is going to attack me. So they'll flip this over. They're camouflage. That's bad ether combat. I'm still temporous. That's still good ether combat. They roll 2 whites. I roll 1 yellow. I have no oomph. No oomph. I got a 2. They got a 4. So that's bad news. So I have no oomph to reroll with. They're going to pow me right to my buddy, the yellow frog. And they beat me. So they don't get to take anything here. They don't get to take anything here. I lose my Temporous ability. Rest in peace, Temporous. Rest in power. And then they're going to raid me. They roll a white die for raiding. They always, always, always set their raid target at 2, regardless of where I'm at in the outer dimensions. Let's go ahead and have them steal. Nope, they got a 0. They got a 0. I get off scot-free. Perfect. Red. Red is going to disgorge. Red is going to go bing right there and bong right there. Then we have green. Now, I'm in the outer dimensions. I haven't talked about what the outer dimensions is really yet because I haven't been there, okay? When you're in the outer dimensions, you lose all your oomph, you lose your ability, right? That's why they don't have an ability anymore and I have no oomph. And then to get out, you roll a single white die and you advance 1 step in the outer dimensions for your result, right? So if I roll a 1, I'd go to here. If I roll a 2, I'd make it out. If I roll a 0, I stay there. If I do not make it out with this roll, this card that I drew to take my turn, I actually collect. And now later, I may spend 2 of these to automatically get out, or if I successfully roll my way out, I can use those set-aside action cards to take extra actions in a row, sequentially. So I want to save them if I can. In this case, I rolled a 0, so I do not advance at all. I will set aside my green action card. Red now gets to go. All right. Red is going to raid because that is the top priority if they're in the ether and they can raid me. Red's raid target is, well, first this gets flipped up. They're Whip Tongue. They roll yellows for raiding, which is bad for me. And they are going to set their target at 2. And they got a 2. They have to beat the raid target. They did not beat the raid target. Green. All right, time for me to hopefully get out. I got a 4. Great. So bing, bing, I'm out. I get the top ability card here, which is Vampiric. So I mentioned at the beginning how they don't have oomph, but they have like 1 phantom oomph. It's for this Vampiric card, which lets me steal oomph from other people. I get all my oomph back. Getting out of the outer dimensions is a little bit of like a comeback mechanic, right? You get all your oomph back, and you might get a bunch of sequential actions. It's bad to be in the outer dimensions, but getting out gives you a bit of a leg up in some cases. All right, now my turn, right, was drawing this card and getting out. But remember, on your turn, you can take a bonus action if you want. So I could take a bonus action here. I cannot take bonus actions from these set aside ones, but I can take a bonus action from this this drawn card. So I'm out. I can either go in the ether or land out here, just like at the start of the game. When I say just like at the start of the game, you have to land on the shard. I mean, I can land in the ether, or I can replicate the start of the game and land on the shard. I am going to land, I think, on the shard. These guys are kind of doing bad dude stuff out here. I'm not good at raiding. So yeah, I think this guy's not very good at fighting, right? So I'm going to land right there. And then, you know what? No, I take it back. I'm going to land right here. Land over here. And then, as I will do a bonus action. My bonus action is going to be leaping onto this lake. I want to start getting a little diversity going. Because diversity is worth points. Then, I have this set aside green card. I now get an action out of it. My action is going to be eating this. Okay, next turn. Green. I get 1 back from my siphon. And I'll leap onto that hill. I'm only picking this up for the diversity right now, so I'm a little out of harm's way. Red. Red is going to land as close to me as they can, and they got a 6, which is right there. Etherflux. I don't like Vampiric in this game. I like Vampiric in multiplayer games. I think it's pretty useful. But when these guys only have 1 oomph and they don't use it, get out of here, Vampiric. And then Whip Tongue is gone and Camouflage is gone. The person in the outer dimensions does not get an ability yet. I'm Nimble. Nimble's also pretty good. I like Nimble. They can move around a little more. Pretty slick stuff. Okay. Gray. Gray is also going to land by me. They got a 3. 3 is right here. Yellow. All right, yellow is going to try to get out of the outer dimension, and they got a 5. They do get out. And they get their ability card, which I guess I just gave them an ability card I shouldn't have, but there it is. Now they have one. And they're out. They're out of jail. And they always go into the ether. Gray. Gray is going to attack me because I have stuff in my gullet. Gray is mutagenic. So we've cycled through the whole ability deck. Remember at the start, someone had mutagenic. I think Gray, actually. And so they've got it back. So we know we've gone through all these. There are, I think, like 16 of these, maybe. I don't know how many. A lot. There are quite a few. There's a good amount of diversity. They're going to attack me with two of these suckers. 2 white dice. I'm going to attack with a yellow. And I'm tired of getting pushed around. I'm going to spend 2 oomph to boost this by 1. So I got a 3. Good thing I boosted it by 1 because they also got 3s. So 3 to 3, no good for the offense. Splinter Strike, what do we got? We have this location. Ooh, this could be bad. This is all barons. So let's see if it's going to end the game. Nope. Potentially. Nope. 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 And yeah, so one more into here and the game is over. I think I want to end the game though. I think I do want that to happen because again, I've got a bunch of stuff. I'd like to maybe get one more thing into my vault for diversity, but they didn't end up with much in a row. Okay, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yellow. Yellow is going to land near me. 3. Right here. Yellow is going to attack me. And yellow is Blink, my favorite boy, Blink. And they're fighting with yellow dice. So yellow versus yellow. They roll 2 yellows. I am going to spend 2 oomph. 2. Also roll 2 yellows. So this is their roll first. They got a 6. So they have a 6 for their roll. That's not good. I got also a 6. Cool. So again, it's a push. And offense has to beat the defense. Green. I think I got to get out of here. I get 1 oomph back. I think I might actually eat and then extra action to jump. Yeah, I'm going to eat as my action. Excuse me, fellas. I'm just going to scoot on out of here. With my extra action as Nimble, it only costs me 1 oomph to leap. So I'm going to leap into the ether for 1 oomph. Get out of the way of those dudes. And the last turn goes to Gray, who can't attack me. They're going to leap onto this land and try to eat it next turn. All right, so probably 1 round left. You guys think I'm going to win? You guys think I'm going to do all right? I hope I'm going to do all right. I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling good with my layout here. I don't have much diversity, but they haven't been able to steal stuff from me. I've had some hesitancy in fighting them in the ether. Some of you have pushed me into it, and it's worked out for me. So thank you for that. But historically, they've been able to raid me very easily. Once I've been in the past doing this, once I've been knocked into the outer dimensions, they have just laid it on me thick because once you're in the outer dimensions, they're gonna raid you a ton, and so it's been tough. And yes, Garrick, I cut my hair off, which I have hair right now, but I cut my hair off of my head and I stopped. I've never had a beard. I want to see how my facial hair grows, and I'm just gonna let it go for a little bit, see what happens in life. But Also, Wakali would represent Uganda. If you guys have never seen Who Killed Captain Alex, Bad Black, Crazy World, which I haven't seen yet, Chris, but I want to, go on YouTube. You can watch some hot Wakaliwood movies. But yeah, so I'm right now I'm feeling good. I'm kind of hope a Splinter Strike comes up like first, and I'm not stacking the deck. I'm just shuffling them idly here. But yes. Finish it with a punch to the frog that slams him into the Baron. That is a very distinct possibility. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Crazy World, Chris. I gotta watch it. Maybe we can like get on Discord or something and watch it together. All right, back to Zoop the game. All right. So, probably the final cycle of the game here. First move is Ether. Oh man, when I flipped this over and I saw it was not a player's color, I was like, oh my god, is it gonna be a Splinter Strike? And then am I gonna get accused of stacking the deck for a Splinter Strike? No, it's an Ether Flux. I do want to keep Nimble, so I'm gonna spend an oomph to keep Nimble. These guys are gonna lose theirs again. I hate it when they lose something like Mutagenic because it's only good for me for them to have Mutagenic. So they get Bing, Bong, Boom. All right. Next, Yellow. Yellow is gonna harvest. Next is Green. I get an oomph back. I'm gonna spit this into my vault as my action. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go. Lost that like. And I'm gonna go here. Then I could bonus action to land if I wanted. Could bonus action to land. No, I'm not gonna. Red. Red is gonna try to harvest. They're gonna leap onto this. Red is going to harvest. I do really appreciate how easy this bot is to handle. It's pretty easy to remember. Again, I did make this little cheat sheet. It's available on Board Game Geek. It is helpful to remind yourself of how things go. So then Green, my turn. I get an oomph. Now, I was told I should try to smash them into a thing to end with that. I could. I'm scared, though, that I'm going to knock them too far and then I'm stuck on the shard. And I don't want to be stuck on the shard. But I could just go hit yellow if I wanted. I'll hit yellow. I'll hit red. I'm gonna hit red because they have stuff to steal. So I'm gonna go hit red. So red, I roll yellow, red rolls white. They're Ravager. Ravager's actually one of my favorites too. Ravager's cool. They can eat Baron tiles and then they can like spit them back out as Splinter Strikes. And they can also like use them to sort of regain oomph or like they can rearrange stuff. The Ravager abilities are neat. So they roll 2 white dice. I roll a single yellow. I could overpower it. I'm not going to. I'm just going to go straight away. 2 to 1 here. I got a 3. They got a 5. Oh, package being delivered. 1 sec, fellas. I'm just going to go ahead and buzz in this package delivery. All right. I am sitting back down. If I hit from the right, it's got a path to 4 barons. If I hit from here, you're saying, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. It would have. It doesn't ultimately matter because I failed, but I guess I could take an extra action to try it again, huh? All right. I'm gonna take an extra action. With Nimble, if I do the same action, it only costs me 1 oomph as well. So I'm gonna spend 1 oomph. To attack again. So their card gets flipped down. They only get 1 white die, and I get a yellow. Let's go ahead and roll them. 4 to 0. So I knock them back 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I land here. I'm going to take this. Do I want to take that from their gullet? Or no, I'm not going to take it from their gullet. So when you win combat on the shard, you can either take from their gullet or you can harvest the land they were standing on. I'm going to take the land they were standing on, because it is a different type than what I have. It might not matter. So if this is a shard, this one that this frog landed on, if this one here is a shard, fracture rather, game's over. It is not. Sorry, Chris, it's not. It's not a fracture. Game continues. Might end with a Splinter Strike. Did I get PAX Run Second Edition? I did not. I did not. Ian is not sending me either of the new PAX games. I mean, not early anyway. Not sending me them early. They sent me High Frontier early. They're not sending me those early, but I will have some PAX stuff coming when those hit retail. I do have copies on the way in that regard. All right, so I will then reveal it. Gray. Gray is going to harvest because I'm not in line to attack. Next is red. Red has food in their belly. They're going to go ahead and blorp it right up. Then it's green again. I get an oomph. I can't attack anyone here. So I might leap into here and then bonus action hit red maybe and try to steal from them. What to do? I could also slipstream over to here. I could slipstream away. Difficult choices here. They're not going to jump into the ether yet, so I'm actually going to jump into the ether. And then I will spend 2 to attack red. I'm going to attack red. I'm going to stay offensive here. I'm going to stay offensive, I think, and hit red. And then maybe loot something out of here. Not that I'm good at raiding. Yeah, I'm going to hit red. All right. So I know red is Ravager. I have to disgorge for before the game ends, Garrick. The stuff in my belly is not worth points. It's only in my vault. I got to get it into my vault. So what I'm hoping to do is raid red after I knock him to the outer dimensions, take something, and then next turn spit both of those out. That's my goal. That's my goal. So they're going to roll 2 of these whites. I'm going to roll 1 of these yellows. I don't have any oomph to spend, so I can't enhance it. And I got a 1. They got higher than 1. Cool. Let's, I guess that's my turn. Let's go ahead and flip this over. Splinter Strike. This could very well be the end of the game. Also, sorry, sorry you got a notification late there. You might be here for the very end of the game, for the final card draw, which is the Splinter Strike. There's a very good chance it ends things. In fact, it is the worst possible hit for not ending the game. We're going to draw 7 of these out. 7 of these out here. So let's go ahead. That's not as good of a shot I was hoping it was. So let's go ahead and flip these over. Let's start in the middle where it hits. Let's see if one of these is going to be it if we can draw that one last. So this first one is blank. This 12 o'clock is blank. This 1 o'clock is blank. This looks like 5 o'clock is blank. The 6 o'clock is blank. This is like 8 o'clock is blank. This could be nothing. This could be not the end. Or it could be this final one. This final one could do it and potentially secure me the victory. It is... Okay, I was hoping that would land face up. Oh, hey, look at that. It is the end of the game, the final one. Can you believe the drama? Come on, you gotta love that drama there. The final one of the stack. Game over. Let's calculate points. I'm gonna give that one more flip. I felt like it was maybe a good hit, but it bounced. Let's see if I can... Okay, well, I gave it 2 tries. All right. So, adding up points. What I do, the way I add points, is on two sort of matrices here. I have to see what land domains I have represented, and there are 4 there are 4 domains, right? So hill and mountain are stone domain, desert and mesa are terra domain, swamp and lake water domain, meadow and forest plant domain. For each domain I have represented, I get an amount of points, okay? So I only have 2 of those represented. They have a bit more. But the other way you get points is by having things in a line. And you want to have the same lands in a line. So not domains, but lands, right? So if I have hills in a straight line, I get extra points. Whereas if I had like hills and mountains next to each other, those are not worth extra points, okay? So domains are kind of the bigger picture, and land tiles are kind of the most zoomed in. So all right, let's go ahead and score some points here. This is kind of where some of the strategy comes in, right? I can score them in any way I want, and because you can stack them, you maybe want to score some before others to get more points from your stacks. So let's see. Well, this lake here is easy because it's all by itself. I'm not going to get any straight line stuff. So that's 2 points. Okay, 2 points for a single highland in a row. It says, you can see maybe right here. So that's 2 points. Now I have kind of the same stuff over and over again. So let's do these 3 Jim Felly approved hills in a row. So 3 lowlands in a row is worth 6 points. So 6 from this plus the 2 from the lake is going to be a cool 8. Then I'm going to want to score, I guess, this 1 land next. So that is 1 point. So that's 8 points, 9 points. And then I have these 3 mountains in a row, which is worth 9 points. So it's 9 and 9 is 18. And then I have this single hill here, which is an additional 1 point, which is 19 points. For having 2 types of domains, I was hoping to get a third, I get an additional 2 points. So I'm at 21 points. And I will go ahead and use these yellow dice here to represent that. 21 points is my final score. Okay. I don't know, maybe I could have scored some of this in a bit better of a way. I don't know. I'm not some kind of a math magician here. Let's score, though, for these guys. Now, there is no, like, you know, magical, this is the way they have to score stuff. You're playing by the honor system. You want to score these in the way to maximize points for them. Score them as if it is your own vault, okay? So not going to go ahead and cheat it. I'm going to go ahead and score as best I can. Fortunately, for me, both point-wise and doing it for the most value, they don't have too many in a row. So it's going to be a lot of like 1 lowland or 1 highland, okay? Not this first one, though. They've got 2 meadows in a row, okay? So these 2 meadows in a row are worth 3 points. Okay, this is by itself, so I don't think there's anything, no, nothing under there. So this is going to be an additional 2 points, so that's 5 points. This is by itself, so that's an additional 2, so that's 7 points. This is by itself, so that's 9 points. These 2 in a row are an additional 3, so that is 12 points. This one, Jim is saying no. Jim is yelling no. Jim ain't happy. I'm not happy either, Jim. So it's 12. This is 13 points. 15 points. 16 points. 18 points. 20 points. 22 points. 24 points. And they have 3 domains represented for a total of 29 points, which I don't have a 9 die here. Do the diagonal hill first, then the mountains, then the 3 hills. Oh, diagonals. I always forget diagonals. I always forget these diagonals. For some reason, this always throws me off. Okay, so they have 29 to my 21 if I score that way. And the game doesn't mandate that you score stuff, to the best of your ability. You can score any way you want. So let's see. I think I had this set up. Let me see if I can backtrack my score a little bit. I think I had it like this. Fortunately, I have like all the same stuff. So bing, 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 bing. So let's see. Instead of 21 for my bad math scoring. So Jim is saying do the diagonal hills first, then the mountains and the 3 hills. So the diagonal hills first would be these 2. Right? But are these? Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I see it. Okay, so these 2. So these 2 first. So this is my second. This is my second score. I'm re-rolling I'm using my ability to re-roll my score from 21 to 24. All right, so let's see. So score these 2 first. This is actually maybe a good example of why kind of thinking about how you want to score is important. So these 2 first is going to be 3 points. Okay, so 3. And then these are 9, so that's 12. And then these are an additional, or sorry, these then are an additional 6. So that's 18, 19, 20. And then this is knocking me up to 22. So unless I missed something, I don't think that really made much of a difference. I think that knocked me up like one point, right? Let me see. So it's like this. I had a siphon here, and bing, 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 bing. So this was my setup again. I think it's gonna knock me from 21 to 22. So if I do he's saying the diagonal hills first, then mountains, then hills, right? So these 2 are 3 points. These 3 are an additional 9. It's 10, 11, 12. These 3 are 6. So 6 and 12 is 18. This is 2 points, so that's 20. And then I only have 2 land domains represented. So yeah, that's 22 points versus 21. So yes, there would have been 1 extra point to do it that way. Unfortunately, they hit 29, which I will represent in a very clear manner like that. Okay, 27 plus 2 is 29. But so 21 or 22 versus 29, they still beat me. I got greedy. What if I had put this? If I had, instead of listening to Chris, and I put this into my vault, that would have given me a 3rd domain representative. It would have been 3 more points. Still wouldn't have been enough for me though. Actually, it would have been 4 more points. So it would have been 27. I still would have lost. I needed to raid them. I needed to steal something from them. So that's it. That I unfortunately lost. I was feeling good too, honestly. I was feeling like, oh, come on. I got like 3 things in a line here. I'm going to reveal stuff and have more things in a line. They have a bunch of random nonsense thrown down onto their board. Come on. How can they beat me? But much like my earlier roll that can't fail, I failed. I got beat. I got beat by robot frogs. But okay, yeah, that's true. Garrick says 27 divided by 2, which is 13 and a half. So I win, even if you round up that 13 and a half to 14. So okay, so officially I'll say that I won with an asterisk. I won if you do division. If division, Jim, if you can factor division into the expansion, that would be great. I would appreciate that. Anyway, that's Solitaire Cosmic Frog. It's a very cool game. I said before, setup is a bit of a pain, and Jim is right. If you have more people, it's a little easier because you all can sort of contribute. Essentially, for setup, what you have to do is take a bunch of these blank back barren tiles and mix them in with a certain number of fracture tiles, right? And you mix them all together, and then you put them all kind of randomly onto the shard. If we look here, we can see like under here are a bunch of hexes, right? And so you're like laying these all down kind of in random spots, and then you have to have a certain number of lowlands, which you will then place on top of these, and then you place a slightly lower number of highland tiles out onto all here. So it takes a minute to set these up. You got to mix them up. You gotta stack them up. And so the tile laying is a bit, but you know, I've said in the past, I don't mind setting up games. In fact, I kind of like setting up games. And so I think what's the biggest pain to me with this setup is mixing up the fractures with the blank backs without accidentally like flipping stuff over and revealing like stuff by mistake, like getting them and shuffling them on a table. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, right? And it doesn't take that long. I think it took me 10 minutes to set this up by myself. There are certainly games that take longer to set up. But yeah, that's Cosmic Frog. It's a very cool game. Honestly, I've played this quite a bit between solitaire, 2-player, and then 3 and 4-player on tabletop sim. It's a hoot. It's a real fun game. I think I played it like 4 days in a row around Christmas with different people. And it's real neat. I definitely recommend it. The little frog miniatures, they come unpainted. I painted all mine up, as you guys probably saw. They're a lot of fun to paint. They're pretty chunky. They've got some cool details on them, and I would certainly recommend it. I last I checked, I think it might have been out of stock on Jim's website. He sells it direct. You can get it at deviousweasel.com, I think is the site. But other outlets have it as well. Jim says there's an expansion coming. I'm also very interested in checking out Jim's other games. Zimby Mojo, I've heard good things about. Shadows of Malice, I've been curious about. I've done a few streams of like Dungeon Degenerates, which is like an RPG in a box sort of thing, and I think that's what Shadows of Malice is. So, yeah, if people would be curious about seeing more, I would see about doing that. And I'll, again, once I can have people over in person, we'll do a stream of Cosmic Frog. A hot tip I'll give people real quick here. When I got this, right, so it comes with this Magi is saying to do Shadows of Malice. Yeah, I have to get my hands on a copy first. I'll keep an eye out. When I got this, right, this neoprene mat comes like standard. It's really nice. It comes like rolls up, right? Like rolls up into the box. When I got it, and I've seen a couple of pictures of this too, it's just kind of just the way neoprene is. It was like folded up a little on the edge, and it was harder to get it to like stay down until I realized it comes up folded like this, like rolled up in that way, right? But if you roll it up this way, it actually, sitting in the box for a bit, got rid of the fold, and now it sits like perfectly flat. Also, sorry it's not stereo. Apparently, did I forget? Yeah, I think I I had my stream stuff broken up. Hold on one second. I had my stream setup taken down because it had been a minute since I streamed, and it's just in our like small apartment. Sorry if you got a buzz there. You might be stereo now. I forgot to plug. I just realized I forgot to plug in one XLR cable. Peter, I apologize. I lost this though, so maybe I'll do another solo stream in stereo at some point. Anyway, yeah, if you get the game, which I definitely recommend, flip this over, fold it up, neoprene out. It'll stop this from like curling. Like it's sitting super flat right now. It's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have enough good things to say about this game. It's really cool. Would I buy it if it was only solitaire? People are doing a lot of solitaire gaming right now. I just played the solitaire. That's harder to say. The solitaire mode is really cool. It's a great bonus. But would I pick this up? Would I play this if it was only a solitaire game? And the answer is probably no. Probably no. It is really fun at every other player account. And it's fun at solitaire too, don't get me wrong, I like it. But they're like, I feel like a lot of the enthusiasm I get with this game is beating up on your buddies. It is definitely a game where you can like target your pals and, really smash their heads in, metaphorically. And in a 2-player setting where I think Jim has recommended on Board Game Geek, if you're doing 2-player games, to give each person 2 frogs and use the shared vault. sort of like this. It works super well at 2-player. It's actually a really fun 2-player game. And then at 3 and 4, and I haven't played 5 or 6, but I'm sure it'd be fun at all those counts too. But 3 and 4 is also a great time. You can play it like short, medium, or long games. I set this up as a short game, which is what the solitaire rules recommend. The difference is basically how many of these fractures are in there to start. A longer game will have fewer, whereas a short game has more. There are variants, like a lot of the backs of these have like text on the back with like different, like there's a lot here. There's actually a lot of little bits stuck in this game that I think could add a lot of cool replay. A lot of cool like replay tweaks, right? You could, I mean, the game is pretty variable anyway with all the different ability cards that changes how you kind of go about playing as your frog, but you can also tweak some other things in the game. There are a handful of variants in the rulebook. So yeah, I certainly recommend Cosmic Frog for people that would like sort of the Ameritrashy style of it. But it does have, you know, some of that long-term strategy with laying your vault out. And the way you count it, as you got pointed out, the way I was counting my vault wasn't the most optimal. And I only got 1 extra point from it. But in a lot of the multiplayer games I've played, it's been like 32 to 33 for like a winning score, first and second place, right? So yeah, Cosmic Frog, very cool. Definitely think it's a game worth picking up and checking out. That is going to do it for me right now, though. Again, Jim, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for everyone watching. And Jim, thank you for sending me this game. I really appreciate it. Interesting to hear that Shadows of Malice is in the same universe as Cosmic Frog. So that actually intrigues me more with Shadows of Malice. I'll have to look into that and Zimby. Yeah. Anyway, guys, go check out some Hollywood movies if you haven't. They're free on YouTube officially. VJ Emmy on the mic. Who Killed Captain Alex? I will see you guys another day, another time, and perhaps in another dimension. Have a good afternoon, night, evening, whatever. Oh, it almost landed. It almost landed.